It's Rush and Jackie D on a cross-country flight, burning up the miles from the morning to the night, from Washington State down to Orlando, sunny door. Every state line leaves us looking for some more. Every state line leaves us looking for some more.
All right, you ready to go, huh? Off to Florida. Okay, Jackie, first things first, let's go get some gas. Let's get some air conditioning first. Okay, you ready? How much gas? She does not have much gas. Okay, it is Wednesday morning. I believe it's the 26th of August. Jackie and I are heading to Florida. We're driving there in my daughter's Jeep. So Mac's Jeep is going to Florida because she just moved there as of 2 days ago. She got herself a dancing gig at Universal Studios, which starts here in a week or so. So Mac and Mo flew out just the other day, got her all set up in her new apartment, and I'm going to drive Jackie out there along with her Jeep and some of her stuff that she couldn't get in a pod that we had. So this should be a fun adventure. Jackie's gonna love it because he's gonna learn a little more classic rock on the way out there. I think we'll probably start out with every Rush album, studio album. So we'll start with the 1974 debut album and go all the way through. Get the whole catalog. Jackie, you excited about listening to some Rush? Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go get gas and we are gonna head on out, head up the gorge, head towards Salt Lake City, through Kansas, a little bit of Kansas, and then when I get to St. Louis, me and Paul might go out for a coffee or something. Paranormal Paul from Paranormal Among Us. If you haven't seen that show, check it out. I've been on there a couple of times with Glenn, and covers everything: paranormal, Bigfoot, orbs, strange stuff, dowsing rods, all sorts of cool things. Yeah, and then Glenn and I the other day headed up to try and recreate the orb that you saw in my last video. That orb that started moving towards our camp, which was kind of strange, but we weren't able to recreate it. Someone was at that campsite. He was a grumpy Gus, put it that way. So we didn't get to do that, so we're not going to be able to get to that in a couple of weeks. Then in October, everything works out, we're going to be with Nana and Pops over in Colville, Washington area, doing some squatching with them. That should be fun. We'll take the tent trailer up there, hang out for I think 3 nights, 4 days, see what we can figure out. And I don't know, I think Jackie is stressing here, but I'm not sure. He looks a little stressed. if he can handle this long ride. But we'll see. Oh, I'm also going to go through the LBL, the Land Before Lakes, which I always hear about, but obviously I've never been there. So I'm just going to drive through that. It looks like there's a freeway that goes right through the middle of it. That'll be after St. Louis and before Nashville. So I'm probably going to do this 4 days, maybe 4.5 days to get there. Drop off the Jeep, go to Universal Studios, go on some rides, and then come home and get back to work. We'll probably stop a few sites along the way. We'll see what we see. I've driven a lot of this towards Kansas, especially as a kid. Me and my mom used to always drive out to Kansas. That's where I was born. My grandma and grandpa lived out there then. So we drove out there, flew out there a few times, but mostly drove probably 4 or 5 times. It's always fun, so who knows, maybe I'll figure out the address of the first house I lived in Topeka, Kansas. But I think that'll be a little bit out of the way. But we'll see. See what other sights we can see that I haven't seen before. Okay, pulling in to get gas. And it is packed here today. I don't know what side her gas tank is on. I'm assuming it's this side. It is. If you didn't know, on your gas gauge there should be an arrow pointing one way or the other, telling you where to fill up at. Get some gas, Jackie. You wait here. Gas. We're out of here, Jackie D. Well, if anybody doesn't know, Jackie D is short for Jackie Daytona. If you ever seen the show What We Do in the Shadows, one of the characters there, when he tries to hide, puts a toothpick in his mouth and a cowboy hat on, and he becomes Jackie Daytona. If you haven't checked it out, it's a funny show. All right, Florida, here we come. Okay, maybe not today. Probably just past Salt Lake, which I lived in there for one soccer season. I lived in Salt Lake. That was in 1990? Yeah, 1990 I think it was. I've only been back there once since then, I think. Also, another thing about Salt Lake, me and my mom drove to Kansas to visit Grandma and Grandpa. we stopped in Salt Lake and watched Rocky right when it was in the theaters. That was fun. So I saw Rocky in the theater in Salt Lake City. Well, if anybody wants to support this trip for me and Jackie D, I'll put up my Venmo. You can Venmo me a coffee if you want, because I'm gonna need a lot of caffeine for this trip. But if not, that's all right. I've got my Starbucks card.
It's Rush and Jackie D on a cross-country flight, burning up the miles from the morning to the night, from Washington State down to Orlando, sunny door. Every state line leaves us looking for some more. Every state line leaves us looking for some more.